For more, let's cross to Yohanes Sulaiman, Associate Professor in International Relations at Universitas Jenderal Achmad Yani, also non-resident fellow at the National Bureau of Asia Research. Thank you for speaking with us from Bandung.
Nice to be here, and thank you for inviting me to your show.
So the results, not a surprise when it comes to the presidential poll so far.
Well, it is not really that surprising, considering that all the reputable public opinion polls done by reputable institutes has shown like Prabowo is advancing, and then the number is keep increasing in the past couple of weeks. And of course, some of it is thanks to the popularity of the current president, Joko Widodo, who is basically has shown his support on Prabowo by having his son to be his running mate. So for many people, it is basically kind of an affirmation, like, look, President Jokowi is voting is supporting this guy, so we have to also support him. He's going to continue Jokowi's economic policy. So that's kind of so that's kind of like the Joko, what we would call the Jokowi effect on Prabowo's popularity, basically.
Yeah, Subianto in his victory speech at one point saying about his late uncle, the dictator Suharto, who ruled for a quarter century, saying, I knew him well. We had lunch, drawing laughs from the crowd. Do Indonesians, how do they feel about the past? Is it something they've forgotten about?
Well, keep in mind that most of Prabowo's voters are young people, those who were born in late 1990s or early 2000s, so they never feel the oppression, the censorship of the previous president, of President Suharto, and so for many people, especially older ones, they kind of dread the feeling, this kind of the new development that Prabowo is going to rule. He's going to destroy democracy. He's going to become this authoritarian dictator. But at the same time, other also said, including me, saying that maybe this is kind of overblown, because nowadays there are more check and balance going on. Well, the parliament is corrupt, but at the same time, the social media is very, very robust. People are willing to defend democracy, and the military also are happy to stay in the barracks. So basically, there are actually less tools that Prabowo could use to depose democracy. So I'm kind of cautiously optimistic in this case.
But let me ask you about this, because Joko Widodo, he came into power as the guy who would break dynastic politics. Now with his son in the vice president's role potentially, is it back to dynasty politics in Indonesia?
Well, I don't think it is back, rather than it never left, basically, because if you look at other political families like the previous president, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, he also trying to push for a dynasty, although he's kind of failing. He wanted to have his son, Agus Harimurti Yudhoyono, to become the next governor of Jakarta and the next president. Well, you also have lots of local dynasties in the provinces, so it is actually nothing really new. And of course, what makes people cautious are very anxious is the fact that Joko is very popular, but at the same time, once he's out from the presidency, he has no power. It is like
even if his son is the vice president.
Well, the vice president's authority is very limited. It really depends on what the president is willing to give him. So there is no defined.
Very quickly, Yohanes, because we're out of time. You mentioned checks and balances. Just a quick word on how the legislative elections are going.
Well, it is doing pretty well, I guess, because the PDIP, the one that's supporting Prabowo's rival, are getting the first place at 20%, and while Prabowo's own party is actually at the third. So and Megawati, the head of PDIP, is not happy about this, and there will be like a new bad blood between Prabowo and her. And I'm not sure if the PDIP is going to rubber stamp Prabowo's laws or regulation when he's power. So there are enough people who are pretty much worried about him getting too much power. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't think we are going to see another Suhartos running Indonesia.
Yohanes Sulaiman, so many thanks for speaking with us from Bandung.
Well, nice to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to come to your show.